Hello guys, Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. I hope you're well. In this video I'm going to take a look at having a punt in tennis trading. Now, as you all know, if you have taken any of my courses or been a subscriber for a while, I very much identify as a trader and not a gambler. Now, I've spoken about the differences between a gambler and a trader numerous times, and there are distinct differences. However, in this video I'm going to take a look at why in some situations it is worth having a punt. But there are very strict rules that I adopt for having a punt, and I'll talk you through these, which will ensure that you will never fall into the trap of becoming a gambler rather than a trader. Please remember, a competent trader, if they have a workable strategy and the right mindset, can be very profitable over the long term, whereas a gambler simply will not be. The odds are stacked in favour of the house or the bookie with gambling, and so it is mathematically proven that by gambling you will lose money over the long term. Now, in this video I'm going to give you an example of a punt I made back in 2017 on Dogecoin, and so it is only fair to first of all outline the main differences between investing, trading and gambling, as essentially my punt on Dogecoin was an investment, albeit a punt of an investment. So that we're on the same page with what I'm talking about, let's start off by looking at what investing is. Now, investing is the process of putting money at risk in order to get a return. It's the way that businesses get started and how all those Bitcoin billionaires were made. You have to make some form of investment to get a return. Now, investing is very much focused on the long term. Good investors do a lot of research before committing their money because they know that it will take a long time to see a payoff. Investors often invest in things that are out of favour because they know that with time others will recognise the value and respond in kind. Now, in contrast to investing, trading moves fast. In particular with tennis trading, traders react only to what's going on in the match. You don't have 2 months or 2 years to wait for the fundamentals to work out. You are in and out of trades within the tennis match. Now, gambling is nothing more than luck. A gambler puts up money in the hopes of a payoff if a random event occurs. The odds are always against the gambler and in favour of the house. But people like to gamble because they like to hope that if they hit lucky, they will make it big. Now, some gamblers believe that the odds can be beaten, but they are simply wrong. They get excited about the potential for a big win and get caught up in the glamour of it all, and soon the odds go to work and drain away their stakes. Now, traditionally, people respond in very different ways to investing, trading and gambling, and more often than not, in terms of risk, people would rate investing as the lowest risk, trading as medium risk, and gambling as high risk. And to be fair, on the whole, I would tend to agree. Now, I'm an investor and a trader, but I will have a punt in certain situations and by following a strict set of rules which I would wholly argue does not make me a gambler. Now, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below if you disagree with this. So what is my rule for having a punt? It is the 10% rule, and this rule, although still the 10% rule, is applied differently to my investing and my trading. With investing, 90% of my investing is fully calculated and risk managed to ensure long-term value and long-term profitability. 10% of my investing is high risk but potentially very high return. Let me give you an example of an investment I made back in 2017. Now, admittedly, not as late as many people, I was a little late on the crypto bandwagon, but got into the market mid-2017 before the famous bull run of late 2017. Now, as well as other investments such as property, business, stocks and shares, I set aside a portion of money to invest in crypto. Now, I fully researched the major players and weighed up long-term profitability and potential of each of them. I put 90% of my investments in the so-called safer cryptos, which really showed long-term potential, and then I had a remaining 10% as a punt on cryptos, which I really knew nothing about, but they were cheap. I split that 10% over a number of cryptos. Now, some did okay, and some just faded away over time. But one of those cheaper cryptocurrencies was Dogecoin. Now, I only put a small amount of my overall investment in Dogecoin, but as you can see, it hit highs of over 45,000%. Although at the time of making this video, it has dropped off a lot, it is still sat at 35,000% profit. Now, this is an extreme example of a punt going my way. But the point is that back in 2017, Doge was regarded as a bit of a joke coin and was a complete punt. Had I not risked anything on it, I would have not got close to the gains that the portfolio has made. Essentially, you've got to be in it to win it. Had this punt not paid off, I would not have made those large gains, but it would not have affected my profitability as it was such a small percentage of my overall investment. Essentially, I was fully prepared to lose this investment as it was purely a punt. In terms of my trading, I apply the 10% rule slightly differently. Now, I will, in certain situations, stake 10% of my match profit on a punt. Again, just like the 10% rule with investing, I'm fully prepared to lose this 10% of my match profit as it will not affect my long-term profitability. Essentially, the rule is very simple. If I've made profit in the match, then if certain criteria is met, I will be prepared to risk 10% of this profit in that match. Now please remember, this is realised profit, not potential profit or likely profit. This is profit which has either been greened up or cashed out. So when will I have a punt? These are the main situations where I'm prepared to have a punt with 10% of the profit that I've already made. So the first situation where I'm prepared to often have a punt is on the third set winner, but only if there is value. Now I will not have a punt on a player in the third set if their price is less than 2.0. This means that the minimum return I would hope to make with my punt is a 100% profit on the 10% of my profit already made. Now value is a huge topic in itself, and I will be bringing out a video shortly just on value. Secondly, a potential comeback in the second set. Now if there's been a strong swing, for example the player you are backing goes 2 breaks up and second set end prices have been met, you could then punt on a comeback from the player who has fallen behind, especially if he or she is looking on form and has perhaps just been unlucky to get broken. Now second set prices are very volatile, and so you can get some incredible price swings with a punt in these situations. Just take a look at this pricing chart on Corey Goff at Wimbledon in 2019. She came back in the second set from a price of 120. Had you already locked in profit in this second set and then took the punt on Goff, you'd have potentially made an enormous return on it. Thirdly, a drifting favourite in the third set. So a favourite for the purposes of this scenario is a player priced under 1.60 before the match begins. Now if it goes into a third set and he or she drops behind by a break, you may well get very good prices to back him or her in this third set, in view of gaining from the comeback. Again, I will only back this player if the price is over 2.0. Number 4, overreaction on price in the third set. For example, if a player is facing a break point, there could be overreaction in the prices and a good opportunity to have a punt by backing that player in the hope that the break point is saved and the player goes on to hold. Now overreaction in the market happens a lot in the third set on break points and is often a sneaky way of entering into a punt. And number 5, this is a rare situation, but if you suddenly spot a player having an injury or some sort of fall, this could be a good opportunity to have a punt. So you could either lay that player who's just picked up the injury or back their opponent. It may be that they might struggle to see out the third set or may even retire. But you have to be quick with this one as the markets respond very quickly to injuries. So to conclude this video and summarise what I've covered, I'm very much a trader with a trader's mindset. However, in some situations I do like to have a punt, but I will never stake more than 10% of the profit that I have already made in that match, and that punt must have value. Now I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this and in what situations, if ever, you have a punt in tennis trading. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like and visit my channel and subscribe for more videos. And if you'd like to begin your journey into tennis trading, then please visit protennistrader.com, where you can sign up to my free online video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading. I'll see you soon.